Commander Magnus and Achromia travel on horseback through the East Forest, heading back to the city of Solace after visiting with their old friends in Stonefist Post. They converse how Tuvio and Melga Stonefist are doing well and are in high spirits despite another war with demons looming just around the corner.
How is your apprentice Kiva doing with her training, Commander?
Achromia asks curiously, looking at him from under her blue-hooded cloak. Magnus then turns to look at his second-in-command with a raised eyebrow.
She has a firm understanding of our weapons and tactics down, and of course a few of her own ideas, considering how she's very headstrong, but unfortunately her dragon magic has yet to fully surface from deep within her. Why the sudden interest in her training, Achromia?
He asks.
I wish to try and help her manifest her abilities, since Archibald and Morgana have joined forces, Commander.
She replies.
I see. Well, that would be greatly
Magnus is suddenly caught off by a harrowing war cry from a group of Death Knights charging towards them, carrying the standard of the Infernal Army, Archibald's shock troops. Magnus quickly draws his shield Dragmir and his sword Dragon Soul. Quickly, he deflects an oncoming spear from a charging Death Knight as another tries to wrap a chain of enfeeblement around Achromia, trying to prevent her from casting any spells. Achromia quickly casts Fly to soar above the group and releases a quick firebolt at her would-be attacker. Magnus blocks a fury of blows from 3 of the other Death Knights with Dragmir. Unfortunately, the largest Death Knight, the captain, creeps in from the shadows with a giant two-handed maul. He strikes Magnus's horse in the head, killing it instantly, knocking Magnus to the ground with the full weight of his horse landing on top of him. Magnus grunts out in pain, spitting out blood on the ground, and then looks up at the surrounding Death Knights, who cackle as they close in. The Death Knight carrying the enfeeblement chain manages to throw it and wrap it around Magnus's sword arm, preventing him from using his dragon magic. As the Death Knight captain looms over his quarry, he raises the maul again to deliver another blow, perhaps the final one, to their master's mortal enemy. A sudden crackling of fire is heard, a sound that has become one of Magnus's favorite things, and it brings a smile to his bloody lips. A large firebolt impacts the Death Knight captain, setting him ablaze. The Death Knight captain takes several steps back, howling in pain, dropping his maul. It lands with a thud into the soft ground. He tries to put himself out. 2 of the other Death Knights try to aid him, but the fire jumps from one to the other, making them hiss and howl out in agony. Magnus looks up to the sky and sees Achromia is already casting another spell. He reaches into a pouch on his belt and pulls out a potion of healing, and with the pop of a cork, he downs the reddish liquid quickly, as the Death Knight who used the chain on him tries to prevent him from drinking the elixir. After downing the potion, Magnus feels the burning magics of the liquid flowing down his throat, and a newfound strength begins to wash over him. He tugs on the chain roughly, pulling the Death Knight over to him, and stabs him through the midsection and slices him in half. Its red glowing eyes fade to darkness as its soul passes into the afterlife. The next 2 Death Knights are frozen in place by a freezing spell casted by Achromia. After Magnus removes the chain of enfeeblement, he unleashes a dragon's fire breath attack, incinerating the frozen Death Knights. Then he turns towards the remaining ones.
Are you sure you wish to continue fighting? Achromia and I can do this all night,
he says as Achromia lands by his side with hands beginning to glow and ready to cast yet another spell. The remaining Death Knights charge at the pair, who launch fire attacks at their enemies, burning the remaining enemies to a cinder.
It appears that Achromia has made the first move. We need to return to Solus quickly, Commander.
Achromia says as she mounts her horse, riding up to him, who mounts up behind her.
Agreed. Let us have the winds at our backs, Achromia.
He replies with a snapping of the reins by Achromia. Her horse takes off at full speed, heading back to Solus.